Oh, look, Sunday Fun Day is trending. Hashtag Sunday Fun Day. Sunday Fun Day in the comments. Sunday Fun Day in the chat. All right, so starting off, obviously, this week we had the episode 6 of season 2 of Peacemaker. And, everyone's saying that the latest episode paid off with a big DCU cameo that James Gunn's been hinting at for a while. I think it also had a payoff in a big way as well. Mind you, by the way, guys, I'm sorry. While we're talking, I also got to go fix what's happening with the Twitch. I really got to disconnect Twitch from this entire process. Be quiet. It messes up the flow of everything because it never takes my changes for what the title are, what the new topic is. And honestly, my Twitch chat's just full of bots. Jane Fridge morning show. Just chatting. I have to go in and manually change that every time, and it's super frustrating. So anyways, that's out of the way. Going on to Peacemaker. I didn't even realize the name of the episode was Ignorance is Chris, which is absolutely perfect titling, because one of the biggest things that I discussed with like a few people when it came to this episode was it was like Chris Smith was completely and entirely oblivious to the signs in his universe, because he was like, oh, my brother's alive, oh, my dad doesn't hate me, and that's great, that's cool, but you have to remember his best friend in the other world is a black woman, and a queer black woman at that. And so it's like, for him to not even peep at all, like, I haven't seen Leota, I haven't seen Adebayo at all since I've been here. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? And then many of us noticed from episode 2 to 3 that something seemed off about the new universe. I think it was episode 3, I made the theory. I was like, dude, there was nobody black in the background at Argus. Maybe it would have been a coincidence, but then there was nobody black or brown, Hispanic, Asian when they went to the park. And then it's just within minutes of episode 6, as soon as Hardcore goes outside, she's like, I don't understand. There's no people of color here. And as soon as she says it to Chris, then his eyes go at the, folded American flags that were hiding the Yahtzee symbol. So it was just a very interesting thing. I think it's one of those things too that I would just personally like to point out. I don't know if certain people agree. When it comes to, that's not what I wanted. Something I want to point out is that when it comes to week-to-week releases for these shows and these movies, there's such a payoff. There's such a payoff, even when you know the answer. Because again, we've had suspicion since episode 2 or 3. I want to say 3. Some people might have said some stuff leading up to episode 3, but we had suspicions on what was going to happen with this Earth for Peacemaker. But still in episode 6, they made it so that the reveal still felt fulfilling. You know what I mean? Obviously we knew James Gunn said there would be crossovers and cameos between movies and all that stuff. That's why we ultimately, get the Lex Luthor cameo. But I think that there's an interesting factor in that even though we knew the answer to the test, it didn't make it feel any less to get the answer right. I mean, the way, I keep saying this and people get so agitated with me, but the funniest thing to me was not even that Keith referred to Adebayo as a black. It was the one got out. Because got out of where? Where do you mean? So that was what I think is just really cool about the week to week. I'm glad James Gunn is doing that. I hope he continues to do that and he does not fall into the binge model and fights like the status quo, because the status quo is, I just want to be able to watch it as soon as everything comes out. I want to be able to watch it beginning to end, and I want to be able to throw up all the spoilers on there the night after it comes out, because I stayed up till 3 a.m. watching it. Fuck that. If you get to see everything before everybody else, it better be because you got an early screener and you're under embargo. That way you can't fucking spoil the rest of us for fear of losing your privileges, because I'm sick of not being able to just enjoy the show. Even the episodes of Peacemaker that I haven't been able to watch the night of, I still have time. But if I wasn't watching it up to date, I feel like it's still easier to avoid full-on spoilers because there's a new topic week to week. So, James Gunn, keep doing your thing. I agree. Season 2 has had a lot of big payoffs. The cameo for Lex Luthor was a big payoff. The reveal of the Nazi Earth was a big payoff. So, keep on that trend. So let's see. It's Peacemaker season 2, BT revealed. Latest episode, big cameo. Yeah, so Rick Flag decided to enlist the help of Lex Luthor, and we see Nicholas Hoult, peeping. We have a really important moment for not only Peacemaker, but the entire DCU, and Rick Flag strikes a deal for finding Peacemaker's portal. He's going to move him from a prison with metahumans to a prison with no metahumans. That man is meta-racist. That's kind of like the sentiment that I get. It's like, is he supposed to be like Lex Luthor is just like meta-racist? From Belle Reve, where they now, to Van Cole, both prisons from the comics. And then he tells Sasha Bordeaux, I assume that's some little hint at what her alias is. A man with such powers, Flag, who obviously has some, he's got an agenda. It's scary for our boy Peacemaker. Luthor has a scanning device that will allow Flag to track down Peacemaker in his portal opening box. Although he wants freedom, he accepts Flag's offer as a shot at redemption. Lex, who's using a cane and limping, also really wants to get away from metahumans, and this change to venue will allow it. Do y'all think that the characters Lex Luthor referred to, so he refers to hearing a bear-sized man with scales for skin smashing a glowing twink, I think is what he said. Do you think that that's Killer Croc and Phosphorus? I can't think of anybody else as far as Killer Croc, but there was somebody else who they said it might be. I'm gonna try to find it while I look. Didn't think of what website I was trying to look up. Sorry, I thought I felt that bug on my forehead. It's gonna bother me that I can't get it. I have a thing in here to catch bugs too, and it still hasn't caught this one singular one. Lex Luthor, Dr. Phosphorus. Hey, so speaking of it, James Gunn confirms Lex Luthor was not referring to Dr. Phosphorus. Can you confirm that the glowing twink isn't Dr. Phosphorus? It definitely isn't Phos, so it wasn't Dr. Phosphorus. This was the character who, why I can't remember who this is. Somebody, if anyone in the comments wants to let me know. I saw a tweet that said who it was. Clarion. I remember him from Seeing Young Justice. Clarion. Yeah. Clarion the Witch Boy. If any of you guys have never watched Young Justice, I swear I've seen him before. Yeah. So it's apparently not Dr. Phosphorus. Everybody was thinking. I was like, first of all, Killer Croc having sex is crazy. But yeah, I just, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know. So that's cool. Anyways, let me make sure all this stuff is good, because I know YouTube can be tripping. Yo, shout out to anybody who's pulling up to the stream. Thank you very much. If you're new, hit the like button. Help get the stream to new viewers. Help us keep growing, help us keep thriving. Yeah, I said hi to you. Hola, buena vida, Ollie. I don't know if you didn't see me earlier. Apologize if you didn't. I don't know why all the chats aren't coming through either. So that's fun. I'm gonna close the multi-chat and then I'm gonna open it back up. Multi-chat. Yeah, it's weird. Chats kind of stopped coming through at one point. But let's see. Given again confirmed. See where we left off. Yeah. Given the gun confirmed, Peacemaker season 2 leads right into Man of Tomorrow. Flag's deal with Luthor suggests that it's just the first step to a journey where he will eventually see Superman having to work with Lex to confront a bigger threat. Elsewhere in the podcast, Gunn revealed that Luthor's cameo was shot during the filming of Flag's Pentagon scene in Superman. Gunn, who wrote and directed episode 6, also said his cameo was originally supposed to appear in episode 7. So does that mean we got cooler stuff coming for episode 7? You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing that I moved besides the openings of episode 2 and 4 when I switched around. And the reason being the next scene was so serious and heavy that it needed an in-between scene, and luckily I shot both of them, so it wasn't a weird thing directing for me just to steal a scene from the next episode. Okay, so yeah, got a little bit of words of James Gunn talking about Peacemaker season 2, kind of that payoff and whatnot. I think it's really cool. And Peacemaker, it's one of those things where at first season 2 wasn't hitting me as much as season 1. See episode 6, now that I know James Gunn directed it, it had that James Gunn flair. The emotional scene between Chris and Harcourt, you had the tonal change of Lex Luthor, because it's like Lex Luthor in Peacemaker's realm, in this grounded realm, and not as much of the hey shout out Nagami, appreciate you for the follow. Thank you so much. Don't know why that came out of the TV and not. I've got to figure out why my alerts and stuff don't work. But yo, shout out to you for the follow. Thank you very much. Where does that come from? Stream goals. Alerts. Properties. Control audio via OBS. Properties. I don't want to mute it. Alerts is not assigned to any audio tracks. Advanced audio properties. I don't know. That's very confusing. Don't know why. I gotta play around with my alerts and stuff. I have no clue why that alert came out of the speakers instead of my headphones, but whatever. I don't remember what I was saying. ADHD might be a bitch. I don't know for sure if I have ADHD, but we're working on it. And yeah, be fucking me up a lot. But yeah, the tonal change with Lex Luthor being in the Peacemaker universe, being a little bit more crude, being a little bit more brash. So that's a little bit about the payoffs. Oh, there was another thing with Peacemaker that I totally forgot. Spider-Man canon. So many of you guys know I made a video on the fact that Spider-Man is canon to the DCU. 1 second, I get my full screen going. So as many of you know, I made a video about how Spider-Man is canon to the DCU as of episode 6 of Peacemaker season 2. What I had totally forgot, because in that video I was like, whoa, now Marvel Comics is canon to the DCU. I had completely forgotten that James Gunn already did this. So many of you might not have tuned into a fun little show called Creature Commandos, but in Creature Commandos, I'm gonna go ahead and mute the music real quick. In Creature Commandos, he made this reference right here.
Paramore of yours?
Oh, can it, Ghost Rider?
I had totally forgot that like he had already referenced the Marvel universe within Creature Commandos, which a lot of people missed. That Creature Commandos was the true start to the DCU. It was the first official DCU project released under James Gunn's mantle. So I guess like it really should have come as no surprise. Someone says, so you're telling me there's a chance that we'll get Miles and Nightwing? I mean, maybe. If for some reason legal teams and studios decide to work together again. But yeah, this is coming after, you know, what's his name? Spider-Man memed with himself. And so it was like, oh man, he said Spider-Man memed. That's officially like, you know, Marvel's in the DCU. But yeah, Marvel's been in the DCU. Again, I can't believe that I missed and forgot that. Because I think I literally have an episode of the Media MC's podcast from before we had a name where we talked about that. So just interesting find, interesting catch, fun to go back to. Hopefully other people go back and check out Creature Commandos. It really is. It was not a big wow start to the DCU, but it is nice to see what the DCU can do with animation and then crossing over into live action for sure.